dress code?
You son of a... Why do you keep knocking people out? You should get voted sexiest man of the year. We're back! Now the Tom Cruise do this! My creator has found us. We have something it needs. Eddie, I'm with you to the end.
So romantic.
Emily.
Yes!
Venom: The Last Dance.
Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to another movie review. And this review is going to be on Venom: The Last Dance. And the film stars Tom Hardy, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Juno Temple, Rhys Ifans, Stephen Graham, Peggy Lu, Alanna Ubach, and Andy Serkis. Now, Venom: The Last Dance, I really enjoy the first two Venom films. The first one, really enjoy. Saw that in the theater. Just had a very fun time with that film. Venom, Let There Be Carnage, I also really enjoyed as well, although I do wish that the film wasn't PG-13 and it was rated R. And I thought the film could had a lot more carnage in it. Because, you have Carnage. Carnage in the comics is supposed to be, very, crazy. It's supposed to be bloody. And, for them to do Let There Be Carnage, PG-13, it was okay. But it would have been a lot better if it was rated R. But overall, I still enjoy Let There Be Carnage. This film, Venom: The Last Dance, I really enjoyed it. I had some fun with it. And if you enjoy the first two films, you would definitely enjoy this one. I mean, the film, all three of these films have their comedy aspects, to them, with Venom's, lines. And Tom Hardy, he does, very good playing Eddie Brock. And I did not know that he also voices Venom, because one of my friends actually said that the way how Tom Hardy voices Venom, they put it like a earpiece in him, and so like when Venom's lines come up, like when he's about to say Venom's lines, he actually talks and delivers the lines. I guess from the script, that's what I heard from my friend. But that was a nice little trivia there, because I never knew that. But basically what the film is about is the film takes place after the events of Let There Be Carnage, and Eddie Brock, who of course is played by Tom Hardy, and Venom, also voiced by Tom Hardy, they're still on the run after their battle with Carnage. And of course, Eddie Brock is wanted for the murder of Patrick Mulligan, and Eddie Brock, Tom Hardy, is being named the prime suspect of that, forced him to set out to New York City and to clear his name. And so while this is all going on, there are these alien monsters coming down from Venom's home world. And there's this creature known as the Xenophage. I think that's how you pronounce the name. And this creature, begins to track Eddie Brock and Venom. And so with all these recent events happening, you have Rex Strickland, who is played by Chiwetel Ejiofor, who is pretty much the main villain of the film. He is this soldier who oversees, this soon-to-be decommissioned site in Area 51. And he, starts to capture and study, other symbiotes that have fallen to the earth. And, of course, Eddie Brock and Venom, they set out, like I said, to go to New York, and you see, Eddie Brock, walking like barefoot at points, because in this film, Eddie Brock loses a lot of shoes in this film. You also have one scene where, Eddie Brock and Venom is hanging on to an airplane, and that's when the Xenophage creature starts to attack them. And we find out that these xenophages were unleashed into the universe by the creator of the symbiotes named Null, who was played by Andy Serkis, who, has this long white hair, and he has to retrieve a codex, which is forged when a symbiote resurrects its host. So pretty much Null wants the codex, and Eddie Brock and Venom have to save themselves from the xenophages and and still have the codex in them. And pretty much that's basically what the plot to the film is about. Really enjoy Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock here. You could tell that Tom Hardy, really enjoys playing the character, really enjoys, the Venom, character, because he ended up writing the story, also along with Kelly Marcel, who was the screenwriter and the director of the film. So you could tell that, Tom Hardy has his heart in the character. You also have the one scene where he meets this family, the Moon family, and he meets Martin Moon, who is played by Rhys Ifans, who is an alien enthusiast, and he wants to take his family to see Area 51 and see if there's any, aliens there. And I'm like, wow, Rhys Ifans, the lizard from The Amazing Spider-Man, is in this film. And of course, it's a whole, different universe. So, it's still in the Spider-Man universe, but, different. So he has, a wife, played by Alanna Ubach. Her character's name is Nova Moon. And basically, they're both hippies. And they have 2 kids. And I like that one scene where it's at dark and Eddie Brock, Tom Hardy, is riding along with them because he meets them and they offer him some food. And Venom's like, "Oh, trash!" And then Tom Hardy just throws the food. And so they get to know each other, Tom Hardy and Rhys Ifans' characters. And you have that one, heartfelt scene where the son is talking to, Eddie Brock, saying, I don't want to see, aliens. Aliens scare me. And Tom Hardy goes, there's no such thing as aliens. So I thought that was a very, heartfelt scene there. And then you got, Venom saying, "Oh, that was good, Eddie. He's like, you're gonna make a good father." So, but I thought that was a nice, heartfelt scene there. You also have Chiwetel Ejiofor, who plays Rex Strickland, like I said, who's the main villain of the film, where he's trying to track Eddie and Venom, try to capture Venom, and study all the symbiotes that have fallen from the earth. So it was good to see Chiwetel Ejiofor in the film. You have Dr. Teddy Payne, who was played by Juno Temple, who was a scientist, and her brother ends up dying from a lightning strike. And we get to see later on, I don't want to spoil it, but, what she becomes, which, was pretty cool. So she did a good job, Juno Temple. You have, of course, Mrs. Chen, played by Peggy Lu. Of course, in the first 2 films, she was, the owner of a convenience store who was friends with Eddie Brock and friends with Venom. And Eddie Brock and Venom end up going to Vegas, and Mrs. Chen ends up, winning the big bucks. And Eddie and Venom, you'll see her there, and she ends up taking, Eddie Brock and Venom to her suite, and you just see that scene of Mrs. Chen and Venom dancing, and they're dancing to Dancing Queen, which I thought was funny. And you also have Clark Backo, who plays Sadie Christmas, who is a researcher, and she bonds with the Venom symbiote that she sees, and of course she later on becomes one of the symbiotes. So I thought that was pretty cool. And it was good to see Andy Serkis in there as Noel, who was the creator of the symbiotes. But it's cool to see him. But the CGI I thought was pretty good in the film. Venom looks great. You also have the scene where, Venom unleashes the symbiote onto a horse. And that was pretty cool there. You also have, at certain points where Venom, the symbiote, it goes into like a fish, and then the symbiote goes onto like this frog, which, is kind of cool. But overall, Venom: The Last Dance, really enjoyed the film, had, fun with it. Although I had, a little, bad theater experience with the film, with these kids in there, and they wouldn't stop talking. They had I guess the adult was there, and he didn't control the kids. And the kids there didn't seem to care about the film. So I'm like, why take the kids there when they're not going to be, enjoying the film? This is a PSA to parents that, want to take their kids to the theater. Just tell them, we're going to see a movie. You have to be quiet and, enjoy what you're seeing on the big screen. But yeah, when I go see a film, I want quietness as I watch the film. I know 100% of us want that too. So, but, if the kids don't seem, interested in the film, or, they're just talking, just tell them, to, keep quiet and, just attempt to watch the film. So, but overall, Venom: The Last Dance, enjoyed the film. Aside from the problem that I had, in the theater. But anyway, that's it for my review of Venom: The Last Dance. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Definitely give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all later tonight with the SmackDown review. Which I know SmackDown's a taped show tonight because, Crown Jewel is tomorrow. So they taped tonight's SmackDown last week. So I'll see you all later tonight for SmackDown.